Hey Clear Lake peeps, Ross England with Clear Lake Guide Service. Up front of the boat, Jim Dowdy, my buddy. In between the two of us, Jim's two kids. We've been out kind of having some fun today. It's the first time I've been out this year. The last time I was out was New Year's Eve. So we're going to give you a real quick conditions report. Conditions are, looks nicer than it is. A little bit of a wind breeze blowing, especially out of the south. So we're kind of sitting in a real nice little area here, pretty comfortable. Water temperature, we checked it a little earlier. I'm not going to get real precise, but we'll just say that it's 49 degrees still. Water clarity, still good. We're seeing anywhere from 3 to 5 feet, depending on where we were. Haven't been all over the lake. We've just been down in the two lower arms of the lake today. Fishing, I'm going to rate it as being good. We kind of switched gears a little bit today, switched to a different presentation, and we actually caught some better fish today. So we've had a really good day between the four of us. At this point, we've only been out for maybe 4 hours, maybe 5. I think we're in the, how many fish we got?
Like 20, because you had 6.
I think we're at 20 fish, and we're probably for our best 5, we're probably pushing 23, 22 and a half, 23 pounds. So good bunch of fish today. We didn't catch a whole lot of them, but it kind of seemed like we were in between. We either caught small ones or really good ones, and I mean some of them that we caught are just absolute footballs. They look like they've swallowed softballs. So as far as activity that's coming up, the only thing that's coming up, and I told you guys in the last video, is January 25th. Mark it on your calendars for those of you who enjoy fishing crappie tournaments. The Clear Lake Crappie Association has its first tournament. It goes out of Clear Lake Oaks, I believe. But if you look on Facebook, Clear Lake Crappie Association, all the information, all the contact information is there. That same day, January 25th, is an ABA, and I'm not sure where they're going out of. They're probably going out of Lakeport area somewhere. So that's the activity for the month. I want to just take a second or two and just talk to you guys and gals about, you know, I get messages when people have come up here and fished, and sometimes they're really happy about, you know, what they've done, and sometimes they go away scratching their heads. I'm just going to tell you, Clear Lake is not an easy lake to fish. It never has been. It never will be. There's certain times of the year when it is a good lake to fish, when you can catch a lot of fish, and anybody can catch them. And that's mostly in the spring, April and May. And it's funny because right now I'm talking to you and I've watched this boat that's in front of us. They just landed and let go their 6th fish. But don't ever confuse, when I'm talking about there being a good bite, it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody that's out here is catching 30, 40, 50 fish. It means that people who know what they're doing up here and have figured it out are not only catching good fish, but they're catching good numbers of them. I don't care who you are, whether it's Jim, whether it's me. We come out here and we have our share of stinker days. That's just part of fishing. You know, we get stuck sometimes having to look around for fish instead of actually fishing where we think we can catch them. We're always looking for new places. So that was one thing I wanted to cover with you all today in this report, is just making sure you understood. Just because we're saying there's a good bite, it doesn't mean that everybody is enjoying it. The second part of that is some of you who have come up here for the first time in the last, we'll call it month, have experienced the wind of Clear Lake. And for the most part, when you go the upper end of the lake, what we call the upper end because we're a bunch of goofballs, which is the Narrows and to the west. So we'll call it the Lakeport end, that includes Nease and Lucerne. That end of the lake generally is a lot less windy. So not always, but generally. The problem is the wind tends to blow real well in the other two arms of the lake. So when when you come out here, if you start seeing the wind coming out of Lakeport, coming from the west, start seeing waves starting to build up, and you know that's where you've launched, my best recommendations, get out of there fast. Just quit. I don't care how good the bite is, unless you want to take a beating. So, anybody has any questions about any of that stuff, feel free to give me a holler. What a lot of us will do if it gets really rough here, even in these bigger bass boats, you know, there's a number of launch ramps around the lake. Pull in, don't take a beating, and get a ride back to where your car is. Drive around and get out in safe conditions. You know, you guys are spending lots of money on these rigs to beat them up when you don't really have to. So that's our report for today. I'll try to get this out tonight. So thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. That's the first one in the bucket for 2020. So for all of us, thanks a bunch. Appreciate you watching. And oop, they just caught their 7th one. Well, I've been busy talking. They've been busy catching fish. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.